Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Primus. This is the podcast where I teach you the business of being a safety consultant. We talk about environmental health and safety, EH&S. We have some guests. We talk about all kinds of stuff, and I want to do my best to help you with your safety consulting business. A couple disclaimers for this episode. If you have not heard, I recorded this all at once at a ranch in northern Washington state. So you're going to hear some equipment that you would have on a farm and a ranch. You're going to hear possible neighing of horses. You're going to hear some birds in the background. And some wind possibly, but I got my windscreen on. And right now there's even a plane going above. So they're probably going to the Seattle airport at SeaTac, because we're actually not too far from there right now.
We'll be back with more of Sheldon Primus and the Safety Consultant Show in just a moment. Are you ready to make a difference? Introducing the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Unlock your potential as a safety consultant. Learn the skills, strategies, and ethics to create safer workplaces for your very own client. From risk assessment to client acquisition, we've got you covered. Become a safety consultant and open doors to being your own boss. Join us and be the hero of workplace safety. Enroll today. Safety starts with you. Take the first step now. Visit our website and enroll in the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Empower businesses. Protect lives. SafetyConsultantBlueprint.com. We now return to the Safety Consultant Show. Once again, here's Sheldon Primus.
This is the final of the series on if I were to start my business right now, what would I do? And it's covering some material, not in depth, but just a little mention of material I covered in the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. And you would find that at safetyconsultantblueprint.com. I updated that course. It's new. It's got some new experiences there. And I want you to take a look at that for more detail. And then also I'm going to introduce to you guys my Safety Consultant 101, which is also out there. And the Safety Consultant 101 is a course that I do, a 2-hour course to get you really doing a workbook. It's not just a course, it's a work book. We're going to do this a live event online, and you're going to be able to just break it down of how to become a safety consultant. All right. Let's talk about certificates. I see a lot of posts on certificates, what to get, what's a good certificate, what's not a good certificate. So I can't tell you what's good or not per se. I am going to give you a conversation that's going to include what to think about when it comes to certifications. So the first thing that you want to think about when it comes to certifications is you really want to start thinking about what is your niche. Going back to episode 2, if you have not listened to episode 2, please do. First, you got to figure out is what's your strength? What are you good at? That's the first thing you should think about for certifications. Get certified on what your business is going to be based on. So if you're good on construction, get a construction-based certification. If you're good with, oil and gas, look for something with hydrogen sulfide or something that's an oil and gas specific one. Depends if you're on a ship or not. There's a bunch of training that you can do with that. So again, first thing that you're thinking about in the concept is what's going to help you grow your business. That's the one you should spend your money on. There's certain certifications I get, like Certified Safety Professional, CSP. They get the bulk of people wanting to be CSPs. It's okay if you become a CSP. There's fine CSPs out there, but there's a process to become a CSP. And if you're not educated to the degree of having a bachelor's, you won't be able to qualify for it. So it's going to be one of those degrees that it kind of weeds out people just by that qualification. I am a little biased to the Certificate of Occupational Safety Specialist program and the Certificate of Occupational Safety Manager program, which both it would be COSS and COSM, so COSS, COSM. A reason why I'm biased is I've been training for that program since 2013. A lot of my students are listening right now, and you guys have heard a lot of my students as I had them come back and we do interviews. One of you guys, or some of you guys may have known Alan Wolford, and it's been a student of mine in the past. He's the podcast host of Diary of a Bald Man. There's a bunch of people that have come through my training through COSS and COSM since I've been doing it for so long. The guys at Agrisure who have advertised at the show. There's people who have, if you're familiar with Rocco and their rescue, I trained a bunch of those guys. Entergy, the power company, I've trained a bunch of them through COSS. So I'm a little partial to the COSS program. Many people have been on and through my career, I've had to mentor some people, or I'm just grateful for mentoring some people. And currently, if you want to be mentored by me, go to sheldon.coach. And I have an open program right now where if you can, depends on where you are. You may not be at that level to start hiring me as a coach. That's okay. Then you got the podcast to listen to. If you're ready for the next step, then the next step is going to be the Safety Consultant Blueprint course at safetyconsultantblueprint.com. And then the next step after that would be hiring me as your coach. So you go to sheldon.coach and sign up there. But not everyone's ready for that. Then that's just steps. So, with COSS and COSM, in order for you to get that, you need to go to Alliance Safety Council, and that's alliancesafetycouncil.org. Alliancesafetycouncil.org. And again, I'm partial to them as certificates. This isn't Alliance Safety commercial in any way. I'm not getting paid for that in any way. But I just want to let you know that is one of the companies that I've worked with since 2013 as an instructor, and we're in 2026. So I'm partial, but they're not the only ones. So again, you're going to want to try to get to whatever field you're in. Look for a specific training that is going to have your field's specialty represented. So you can look and see first, the best way to do that is to go online, look for whoever's hiring for the position, or at least the a safety position that is in the field that you're specializing in, your niche, as we talked about in episode 2. And from there, look at the qualifications. What are some of the qualifications that they list for this particular position? Try to get that certification. So now when you're talking to a potential new client and you tell them you have a specific certification, then now they would recognize that certification because they're even posting a listing to hire somebody with that certification. So it's going to mean something to them. So look for something like that first. The other thing is, in some cases, you're going to also want to have dual certifications. That's fine as well. But I also say that certification is one way of doing it. Another way is degree. If you're younger or you want to go back to school, doesn't have to be younger, older as well. You could also look for any kind of degree that will help you as a safety professional. So there's a bachelor's degree, there's master's degree, there's even doctorate for EH&S. could do one of those if you have the wherewithal and the finance to do that. If you could take on that burden, that's actually going to be even better than a certificate. If you were to say to someone who's a doctor or someone who has a master's degree in EH&S, that if, do you which one will be more of an expert, someone with a certification or someone with a degree? The answer is someone with a degree. That's why the CSP, they're utilizing both. They're having a bachelor's degree in EH&S or a related field, and they're getting a certification. So they're utilizing both wow factors, if you would. But honestly, a COSS program, a COSM program, you don't need to have a bachelor's degree. You could just have your high school diploma, and it doesn't make you less of an actual safety consultant. It just is your experience. You didn't have the opportunity to go to college, but your experience is still valid. So that's another thing. If you do have the opportunity and you could go to the college system and the university system, do that. That's going to trump all certificates. Before we go, though, let's throw in one more. If you could get, and this is for those of us that are in the U.S. jurisdiction, if you could become an authorized OSHA 10 and 30-hour instructor, not only is that going to help with recognition that you are, your stuff in safety and health, but it's also going to be a recognition that you could now teach, you're authorized to instruct in the 10 and 30-hour general industry, construction, maritime, or disaster management. Those are the 4 areas OSHA has the 10 and 30-hour classes. If you are anyone who could teach those, it opens up your business. So at that point, you can now teach one of those 10 or 30 hours. You get into that organization, or you get to that local safety council, and you could offer that as being a way for you to start getting people noticing you and get some clients in your local area. So the OSHA 10 and 30 is very important. In order for you to get the authorized instructing credentialing, if you would, for OSHA, you have to go through a process. If you're in general industry, you're going to look for the OSHA numbered course called 511. You have to do a prerequisite course first, and then after the prerequisite course, then you go to 501, OSHA 501 course, and then that's going to give you that's the train-to-trainer course. That'll give you the authorization when you complete it to do the 10 and 30 hours. If you're in construction, you want to look up the OSHA 510 course, which is going to be the standards course first, and then you're going to go to the OSHA 500 course, and that's going to give you the authorization to be a 10 and 30-hour instructor for construction. So I'm just talking about general industry and construction right now. Those of you in maritime and disaster management, I can't remember the numbers of those courses, so you'll have to look that up through your local OSHA Training Education Institute, OSHA Training Institute Education Center, OTIEC. The one that I use is Mid-South OTIEC, and that's also from the Alliance Safety Council. All right, so that's our conversation on certification. So week 1, we talked about getting legal, getting your business name, your website, insurance, your D&B number, your bank account. Episode 2, we talked about selecting your niche. What can you specialize in? Backup niche. Episode 3, we talked about signing up for Upwork and Yellowbird, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, contacting your local safety council to offer some help. And then today we just talked about certification and the concept behind certifications. So you now have what I would do if I was starting my business right now in 2026 as a general guideline. If you want more information, then, and you're ready for the next step, then go ahead and take the book. It's the course. It's a course that is called Safety Consultant Blueprint Course, and you can do that by safetyconsultantblueprint.com. And if you're ready Beyond that, then you would also want to do the Safety Consultant 101, and that's going to be a live online event. It's a 2-hour event that I host every year, and I told you guys I'm going to host it multiple times this year. Normally I only do it once a year, but I'm going to increase that to multiple times. I'm going to try to get 4 of these events in this year, and what we're going to do is go over the basics for Safety Consultant, and it's a workshop, so you're working for those 2 hours, and you're going to go to sheldonprimus.com, and you'll see it there. And for those of you that are ready for the final stage to really get your business going, then go to sheldon.coach, and you can hire me as your coach. We're going to work through getting you going, and I'm going to give you guys homework. We're going to have conversations every other week. I'm calling you, and we're going to set up a meeting, and we're going to go ahead and work through your business. Got an hour and a half every other week that you and I are going to get online. You're going to go ahead and be face-to-face in the airmate room and just truly work your business. And it's going to be tailored to you, your specialties. I'm not just giving you a template and we're working off a template. We're working off of your specific case and all the things that you learned from exercise and things that you should do the previous 2 weeks. I'm going to give you some time to implement some things. And then after that, hold you accountable in the next call, see how much you've got done, and then we'll just keep going for that. So go to sheldon.coach, and you could pick a plan that works for you and hire me. I'll be there for you, and we'll do this together, all right? So thank you all for listening. I hope the series will help you. Go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and 1 consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.